Hi guys, ex-President Donald Trump reacted angrily when he was told that a man is writing a book about Queen Elizabeth II. In the book, it is alleged that Her Majesty believed Trump was rude on a number of occasions during a visit by the president a few years ago. There are recordings of some awkward exchanges between the two heads of state, both inside and outside events. However, Trump was having none of this and called the writer a sleazebag. So who are we to believe? Somebody who's had close enough contact with the royal family to write a book on them, or a guy who never lies? Have a listen.
There's a new book coming out about the Queen in the United Kingdom. Craig Brown has made a little bit of news because apparently the Queen told lunch guests that you'd been a little bit rude, had been looking over her shoulder when you met as if to find more interesting people to talk to. What did you make of that story?
It was totally false. I have no idea who the writer is, but it was really just the opposite. I had a great relationship with the Queen. She liked me and I liked her. I spoke to her often, and I spoke to her in particular when I was there. We spent hours together at a state dinner. She was a fantastic woman. I think it's a shame that a sleazebag can write an article that's totally false. In fact, I've heard always the opposite. I heard I was her favorite president, and you've heard that too. She would say it to a lot of people. She said it to friends of mine that President Trump was my favorite president. And then you have this guy looking for some publicity for a book that probably is phony in a lot of other ways too. Now, I know nothing about him. I have no idea who he is. We had an unbelievable relationship. She was an amazing woman.
Okay, who are we to believe? Somebody who spent time with people in the royal family, enough time to write a book about the Queen and the royal family, or Donnie, who was there for 3 days? Look, I actually believe that he doesn't understand the difference between somebody liking you and somebody being diplomatic. So Queen Elizabeth II, one of the greatest diplomats, she was able to meet with unsavory figures and remain professional. So, of course, when she met with Donald Trump, she laughed at his jokes, she was polite to him, she was friendly, she engaged in conversation because she understood, look, the US is an ally, we need to maintain this so-called special relationship, and I'm not going to upset that. I'm not going to ask him difficult questions. I'm not going to embarrass him because that would be undiplomatic. She was a professional diplomat. Now, this idea that Donald Trump was her favorite president, like, we know very little about Queen Elizabeth's private life. The royal family were very good at keeping that secret, keeping that away from public eye. So we know very little about her preferences, what she liked, what she didn't like. But the idea that Donald Trump would be her favorite president, this is somebody who met with, I believe, John F. Kennedy, Barack Obama, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton. Like, of those people, who would put Donald Trump as their favorite? Unless it's Donald Trump. So you notice also the language he uses here. You know it, you've heard it. You're speaking to a journalist who may not have heard this, and then you refer to, well, she told friends. She told friends of yours. What friends? Can you name some of these people so we can check? No, it's all hearsay. People say that I was the greatest president. People say that the Queen said this and said that. Look, we have no evidence to support this, and I'm extremely skeptical that she would either say something like this, that she has a favorite president, and that it would be you. In your mind, you're her favorite president. In your mind, she liked you. She was being diplomatic. I think that's a more reasonable conclusion to come to. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.